and thank you for clicking. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, supporting your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and encouragement for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. And I am coming to you on the spring equinox, bright and early on this blessed morning. Welcome to spring, everyone. So glad to be joining you on this spring morning. Here in the eastern United States, we had the official time this morning for the spring equinox at 5:37 a.m. So I was out and about at 5:37, honoring and praising and thanking the four directions, thanking Father Sky, praising Mother Earth, and listening to the first birds chirping in the morning. You know, sometimes I wonder how that first bird feels in the morning when you're out, it's quiet, it's dark, and no birds have yet started singing. And then there is that one first bird. I love to hear that one first bird start singing. And sometimes I wonder how that first bird feels. Does it feel nervous? Does it feel excited? What is it like to be that first bird? So, good morning to you, and I am excited to be joining you on this spring equinox morning. This is a wonderful time to be talking about transitions. Here we are transitioning from winter into spring, the official first day of spring. But the truth is that on some days it is still going to feel like winter. When we are in a transition, when we are experiencing a life change, it can feel a lot of times like the transition from winter into spring. It is not a nice, neat, clear, clean cut transition where one day it's snowing and cold and the next day it's beautiful and the sun is shining. Actually, when we are in that transitionary phase, we are just like the earth, where one day it's going to be snowing. The next day, maybe it's going to be hot. A few days later, surprise, more snow. And we can feel a little confused, just like the earth can seem confused. But I assure you that this is part of the process, this is part of the journey. And so when we transition from winter into spring, we're going to have snowflakes that turn into rain. And the snowflake that starts out as rain the snowflake that starts out as snow may be turning into rain into midair. I also wonder sometimes what it's like to be that snowflake, that snow turning into rain, and how that must feel. So here's the snow saying, I'm snow, I'm snow, I'm snow. And then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I'm rain now? What is happening? I'm turning into rain and hitting the ground as rain. Wow. Transitioning mid-air. Don't we all feel like that sometimes? Where we start out as snow and we are turning into rain, and it is a shock. And we're doing it mid-air. So I wonder sometimes how the snow must feel as it is turning into rain. Um, there's a great saying by Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm just thinking of this now, where he says that the cloud does not worry or does not fear. I wish I could remember the exact quote right now. My apologies, but it's all about the cloud not worrying about turning into rain. And so we may very well worry sometimes about our transitions, and that's a natural and normal thing. Just like the snow may feel worried that it is melting into rain while it is falling. And so I really want to encourage you to know that during our life changes and challenges and transitions, it can feel very tumultuous. It can feel very back and forth. And that is a natural and normal part of the transition process. So, I am also so excited to announce that I am starting a new Facebook group. This group is dedicated specifically to encouraging you in your journeys. I think one of the things that we are very challenged with in our culture is recognizing that transition is a process, recognizing that healing is a process, recognizing that it is not a straight arrow line like snow that is always snow, and then spring comes and the next day it is always and only rain, but rather that transitions and healing and life is a journey that moves much more like this. And so one day it can be snowing, and the next day raining, and the next day snowing, and the next day raining, cold and hot, as we move from one phase of our lives into the next. And so my mission is to support your journey by encouraging you through your life changes, those challenges and transitions that can seem so confusing and so uncertain. So I have created a brand new group that is at facebook.com/groups/encouraging your journey. Encouraging your journey. And in this group, it is going to be a group of positive people, encouraging people there to support all kinds of life changes, all kinds of life transitions. Whether you have lost a job, or you have ended a relationship, or you are thinking about incorporating new positive changes into your life. Maybe you want to start a new habit. Maybe you want to quit a habit. This is a group where you can come to get perspectives, to get feedback, to get encouragement, to get support. No life change is too large or too small for this group. We encourage and embrace them all to help you recognize that as you move from winter into spring, you're going to have cold days. You are going to have warm days. You are going to have snow, and you are going to have rain. During those transitions, life can feel like this. Just like as the world transitions from one season to the next, from winter into spring, becoming spring can feel a lot like this. And so, encouraging your journey is all about helping you through those transitions. Now, of course, this is something that I do in my practice at Standing Stones Healing Company. I specifically focus on life changes, challenges, and transitions, and using Reiki, card reading, and coaching to assist in those transitions. And so that will be a part of this group, but the group is also going to be talking about other ways that we can manage life change. I don't think culturally we do a good job of helping one another to manage life changes, challenges, and transitions, and to acknowledge that we feel this kind of back and forth feeling when we are transitioning. And so it's my mission to help spread the word about techniques and tactics that we can use to support and encourage ourselves and one another during those challenging times. So let's pull a couple of cards and see what maybe the angels might have to say, what guidance there might be for us for our spring as we transition from winter into spring. So happy spring, everyone. Welcome spring. I also want to say that I do have a seed blessing ceremony. This is an amazing time to be planting not only your physical seeds, but also your metaphorical seeds. And so my seed blessing ceremony is available to you that you can use to as a ritual to bless your seeds, both literal that you are going to plant in the ground and metaphorical that you want to plant in the ground of your life. By the way, this seed blessing ceremony is available to you, no strings attached, no email address that you have to provide. It is there on my YouTube channel for all to use. So let's pull a rune and see what we've got for our blessed spring morning. Ah, the rune of protection. So, what I'm picking up from this rune right now is that we are protected. To know that during this time of transition, it might not feel like it. We can feel very unprotected. We can feel very uncertain. We can feel very raw. And the message here is that you are being protected during that time of transition. And so, as we transition from winter into spring, know that the earth has our back. It may seem sometimes on some days like, really? Are we really moving into spring? Is this really happening? You know, this morning as I was out on my walk, it was 20 degrees. It's 20 degrees out there this morning in the eastern US. For those who don't use Fahrenheit, know that that is just cold. My heat is coming on right now, as a matter of fact. And so we can have these feelings of, is it really going to be spring? Is it really coming? But yes, I assure you, it is coming. And the angels are assuring you that you are protected during this time, to know that during the time of transition, you do have protection. The world has our back. So let's pull another card and see what messages we might have for our spring. I'm going to pull a tarot card and see what comes out. So, know that you may be feeling like that snowflake turning into rain, and that is okay. That is part of the process. That is part of the journey. And it's my mission to help celebrate that journey, to help celebrate those changes and transitions and even challenges, because they are part of the journey. You know, sometimes whenever we have an experience like losing a job, maybe we've gotten fired, or maybe we're no longer in a relationship, we've just been dumped, and we can have the feeling of, oh no, what have I done wrong? This is terrible, this is awful. And yeah, it may not be something that's wonderful and something that you enjoy, but it is part of the process. And so I think too often we have a tendency to say, wow, what is wrong with me? What have I done wrong? Rather than acknowledging and recognizing that this is actually part of the journey and part of life. And so I want to help to normalize change. I want to help normalize life transitions, because they are indeed part of the life process. So know that as the snowflake turns into rain, that is a normal part of life. So I have pulled two cards from the Celtic Dragon Tarot deck for our spring. And let's see what messages we have for spring as we transition from winter into spring. Ah, okay. So what I'm picking up from these cards is, first of all, we have the Eight of Cups and we have the Page of Swords. So you can see these cards here. Now, I don't always read divinatory meanings on the cards, but what I'm picking up immediately from these two cards: do not turn away from your power at this time. We see we have someone turning away with the Eight of Cups, where we have a woman turning away, running away. And then we have, with the Page of Swords, a powerful sword rising out of the flames. So what I'm picking up from these cards right now is, don't turn away from your power at this time. You have power. Claim that power. Acknowledge and recognize that power. Don't deny it. Don't deny it. Don't turn away from it. Grasp that power. Take that power. You do have the power. So know that you are powerful. And as we transition from winter into spring, as we welcome the renewal and the growth of spring, as we welcome spring's blessings, we are being called right now to recognize our power, to claim our power, and to not turn away from our power. So I encourage you to take some time this spring to meditate on that, to think about your power, and to think about not turning away from it, and rather claiming it instead of turning away. let's pull one more card. It's a beautiful spring morning. I'm very excited myself to be out working in my garden later today. I have plenty of yard work to do. I'm also going to be conducting a spring equinox ritual for myself this evening, giving some offerings. I like to spread offerings in the four corners of my property, which actually just happen to align with the four directions very nicely. And so I like to give offerings at that time on special occasions. So I will be doing that this evening, giving thanks and praise to the four directions and welcoming in spring. So let us see what messages the angels might have to welcome in our spring. Let's go. This one. Aha, brilliant idea. Archangel Uriel is saying, yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. So we are being told right now that we are having some great ideas, and we are being encouraged to express those ideas, to know that those ideas are divinely guided, and to know that these are good ideas. The ideas that we may be having, maybe as we have our growth and renewal in the world, you are experiencing some growth and renewal of your ideas, some growth and renewal in your own life, and you are having some thoughts and ideas. Yes, you are being told right now that those ideas that you are having are brilliant. Put them into action. You know, we can have lots of great ideas, but if we don't put them into action, then it's like divine guidance that we have received that we're not doing anything with. And I was once told by another holistic practitioner that, you know, if we have ideas and we don't put them into action and they are ideas sent to us from the divine, then if we don't enact them and we're given enough opportunity and enough gentle nudging and we don't do it, then those ideas will move to someone else, and someone else will take up that divine charge and enact those brilliant ideas. So you are being given your ideas, they are being birthed in you for a reason. And so we are being called to enact those brilliant ideas, to know that as we do, we are being protected, to not turn away from our power, but to rather claim it and to put it out into the world. Now remember, I focus on encouragement. I focus on supporting journeys through changes, challenges, and transitions. And so I want to encourage you to encourage others at this time. You know, during our life changes, when we feel like the snowflake turning into rain, and one day it's hot, one day it's cold in the morning, it's warm in the evening. My gosh, what is happening? Back and forth, back and forth. It's such an uncertain type of feeling. And so I want to encourage you to encourage others. So when you are going through your own life changes, please encourage others, because we are all going through our own life changes, our own challenges and transitions, and we all need encouragement. So I want to encourage and challenge you today to go out and encourage 3 people. I want you to send out 3 messages of encouragement, make 3 messages, whether that is through a text, a Facebook message, a post, calling someone, giving someone a pat on the back, telling them good job. I want you today to encourage 3 people. I'm going to do the same. Now, I'm also excited to announce, along with that idea of encouraging 3 people, that I am creating a brand new Facebook group devoted specifically to encouraging people through life changes, challenges, and transitions. That is my mission at Standing Stones Healing Company. And so I have created a brand new group at groups, the Facebook group / encouraging your journey. So I encourage you to join me at Encouraging Your Journey, where we will be able to encourage each other through our own life changes, challenges, and transitions, to offer encouragement, to offer support, and to help one another as we transition from the snowflake into rain, as we transition from the winter of our lives into the spring of our lives, as we transition from one self to the next. We are always in transition, always growing, always changing, just like the seed sprouting forth. Let us honor that, let us praise that, and let us support one another in that. Thank you so much for joining me on this blessed equinox morning. I'm excited to do my meditation this morning, to finish my morning routine with my meditation, my stretching, to have some breakfast, and then to go out and work in my own yard in praise on this beautiful spring equinox morning. I send you my blessings wherever you are in the world, whatever your life challenges, transitions, and changes that you are currently experiencing, and I welcome you to join me at Encouraging Your Journey. Thank you, and best wishes for your journey.